Hello students, welcome to discussion of numerical ability section of IBPS Clerk Prelim Mock Test, All India Mock Test AIMT 201-2003. This is the reference of the mock test number AIMT 201-2003. Before we start discussing the questions, let us first look at the strategy. Each section is separately timed, as all of you know. So quant section you have 20 minutes. In this 20 minutes of time, if you look at this particular paper, this particular AIMT, what are the areas given under quantitative numerical ability section and how much time you need to spend on each of those subtopics and what is the good score in those subtopics and what is the order to be followed. Let us very quickly look at those things. So order to be followed, you have simplifications, 9 questions on simplifications, 5 questions on wrong number series, 6 questions on quadratic comparison, then individual quant questions, these are arithmetic questions, questions on time, speed, distance, time and work, mensuration, ratio, percentage, about 10 questions, and data interpretation, you have only one set of 5 questions, that too based on a table. Now, as you have seen in your previous discussions also, we will start with the scoring area. So we will follow the same order. First we will start with simplification, then we will do wrong number series, then quadratic comparison, then individual questions, and the final thing we attempt is your data interpretation. Now 9 minutes, you spend somewhere around 3 to 4 minutes on your simplification part, because there are only 9 questions. Spend about 3 to 4 minutes of time and you can score easily 6 to 7 questions. Then spend 3 minutes of time on number series. This is a wrong number series. You can solve 3 to 4 questions easily. Then spend 3 minutes on quadratic comparisons. 6 questions, all the equations are easy. You can spend about 3 minutes. You can easily score about 4 to 5 questions, or you can answer about 4 to 5 questions here. Then 10 minutes are over, another 10 minutes here. So spend 5 minutes on individual questions. In this 5 minutes, you can solve about 6 to 7 questions, individual questions. Then spend your last 5 minutes on your data interpretation. You can solve another 3 to 4 questions. Right? 9, 13, 16, 22 to maximum 11, 16, 20, 27. So you can look at somewhere around 22 to 27, minimum 22 to maximum 27 questions you can answer easily. I'm saying these are all easy questions out of 35 questions given in the paper. Anything less than 22, I'm saying you need to just revise your subject. You have to seriously work out where you are going wrong, maybe the problem with the speed or accuracy, or maybe understanding the concepts, that you need to analyze yourself, right? So 22 is the cutoff. Anybody, I'm saying you should get 22 at least in this paper. Anything less than 22, I'm saying it is of a serious concern. Right, students, let us start discussing questions. Directions for question number 1 to 9. What will come in place of the question mark in the following questions? So these are based on your simplifications. Right, these are simplification questions. Let us take up these questions. Question number 1. Question mark percent, we'll take it as x percent. X percent of 500 plus 20 is equal to 121 plus root 81. So what is root 81 value? 9. 121 plus 9, 130. 130, if I send this 20 this side, 130 minus 20 is 110 is equal to 5x. X is equal to 22. 22 is present in choice 3. Right? You got this? This is, see, in previous session also we have discussed this. X percentage of 500 is nothing but 5x is equal to root 81 is 9. 130 minus 20 is 110. 5x is 110. X is equal to 22. This is an easy question. Question number 2, students. 9 goes 6 times in 54. 7 goes 8 times in 56. So it is 3 by 4. So 3 goes 24 times. So what is my x value here? 24 into 15 into 4. Right? This 4 goes this side. 3 goes 24 times. 4 comes this side. 24 into 15 into 4. 15 into 4 is 60. So what is my last digit? Or I can say last 2 digits will be 40. If my last 2 digits are 40, there is only one option with last 2 digits as 40. Second option should be your answer. Now because last digit is 0, 24 6 are 144 or 6 4s are 24, I can say last 2 digits are 40. No need to even simplify the entire expression. There is only one option with last 2 digits as 40. Now look at this 66 2 by 3 percentage. It is 2 by 3 into x plus 55 into 24. 55 into 24 is how much? 1320, right? 36 into 110 is how much? 3960. It is easy, students. Here 36 into 100 is 3600. 36 into 10 is 360. 110 I am writing like this. It is 3960. Or 360 into you do 11. So 360 into 11, what will happen? We'll put a 0 here. 0 plus 0, 0, 6 plus 0, 6, 3 plus 6, 9, 0 plus 3 is 3. This is a special multiplication technique by 11. So 360 you make it into 11. Or 36 into 100 is 3600, 36 into 10 is 360, add these two. Similarly, 55 into 24, 50 into 24 plus 5 into 24. No need to solve this, right? Orally, how will we do this? 100 into 24 is 2400, 50 into 24 should be half, 1200. 5 into 24 means just remove 1 0, it will be 120, so 1320. You subtract this, 2 by 3x is equal to 20 plus, if I send this side, 3960 minus 1320. 20 plus how much is 60? 40. 13 plus how much is 39? 26. So x is equal to, see here, 2640 into 3 by 2. So instead of you can either simplify this, or I can say it is 3 by 2 is 1.5 times 1 by 2. So 2640 plus again half of this. Half of this is 1320. So it is 3960 present in choice 5. Question number 4 question. Question number 4, students. 16 into 19 minus 6 minus x is equal to 85 divided by 17 plus 23. Right? We need to apply our board math rule. Brackets of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Now if I see here 16 into 19, first we have to multiply. 16 into 19, you know multiplication table, it is 304 minus 6 minus x is equal to, this is division first, 17 goes 5 times, 23 plus 5 is 28. So I can say x is equal to 304 minus 34, it is 270. 270 is present in choice 4. 304 minus 28 minus 6 is minus 34. If I remove 34, it will be 270. 16 into 19, either you should know multiplication table, 19, 16, 16, 19, or 16, 20 is 320. Remove 1, 16. 320 minus 16 is 304. You can also solve like this, right? Question number 5, students. 75% of x. 75% means 3 by 4 of x. Plus 7 into 85, 560 plus 35 is 595. That is 820 minus 595. So it is 225. So what is x value? 225 into 4 by 3. Right? 3 7s 21, 20, 15, 3 5, 75 4. 75 double 150, again double 300. It is present in choice 2. Simple question this one. 13,200, if you add this 86 and 14, 100. So 62 plus 70, 132. Or 7,000, 6,000, 13,000. 86 plus 114 is 200. 13,200 by 80 is equal to x. Right? So 8 ones 8, 52. 8 6 are 48. Then it should start with 16. Starting first two digits are 16. There is only one option. Then first option should be my answer. So if you want to simplify, 8 ones are 8, 58, 8 6 are 42, 40, 8 5 is 40. No need to simplify. By taking first two digits, you can answer the question. So question number 6, answer choice is 1. Question number 7, students. 47 into 12. So this is 564. 47 into 12. How do you do this? 47 into 10, 470. 47 into 2, how much? 94. So it is 564. Or you multiply 12 into 40, 480, 12 into 7, 84. So it is 564. Minus 62.5 percentage is 5 by 8. This is a standard reciprocal into 168. 8 goes 21 times. Is equal to 135 plus x square. Now see here 5 into 21 is 105. If you remove 105 here, this will be 459. 459 minus 135 is equal to your x square. So 24, this is 324. X square 324 means x is equal to, we know 324 is 18 square, x is equal to 18. So choice 1. 8th question, students. Again, you have to apply your board math rule. Bracket of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, right? So 625 minus 2850 by 114 is equal to x into 24. Now see here, 114 2 228. So again 557 remaining, 570, 114 goes exactly 5 times. So 600 is equal to x into 24. 24 goes exactly 25 times in 600. So choice 3 is your answer. Ninth question, again you have to apply your board mass rule, brackets of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So x square is equal to 336 into 5 by 7 plus 16. 1 second, it is not into this plus. Right, 5 by 7 plus 16. Right, 7 4s 28, 56, 7 8s, 240 plus 16, it is 256. 256 we know is 16 square, so I can say x value is 16 present in choice 4. Simplification questions, I am saying these are very easy questions, nothing even, not even moderate level of difficulty. Given the kind of practice, the kind of classes you attended, I am saying these 9 questions should be cakewalk for you, right students? But provided that you should be good at the basic speed math rules like your squares, multiplication table, then these 9 questions are very easy. Find the wrong number in the following questions. Question number 10 to 14. These are also easy questions, self-explanatory. You can look at the solution to understand this, to find out this wrong number series. I am not discussing this wrong number series here, right? Question number 15 to 20. Okay, these are based on your quadratic comparisons. We have 2 equations given, 1 and 2. You have to find out roots of these 2 equations and you have to establish a relationship. We will mark choice 1 if x greater than y, choice 2 if x greater than or equal to y, choice 3 if x is less than y, choice 4 if x is less than or equal to y, choice 5 if both x and y values or roots are equal, or if you cannot establish a concrete relationship, then we will take up, we'll mark option 5. X greater than y first option, greater than or equal to y second option, less than y third option, x less than or equal to y fourth option. Both the roots x is equal to y or the relationship cannot be established, then it is option 5. Let us take up question number 15 students. X square is equal to 625. This implies x is equal to plus root 25 or minus root 25. X is equal to plus or minus root 625, plus 25 or minus 25. Now y square minus 48y plus 576, we have discussed this, right? So a into c, this is in the form of ax square minus what you call x square minus what you call x square minus x plus what you call x square minus bx plus c is equal to 0. You have to multiply a into c, 576. We'll take b is equal to minus 48. A into c is positive, we'll write it as sum of 2 numbers. B similarly, if a into c is negative, we'll write b as difference of 2 numbers. Instead of getting into all those details, just observe these students. What is 576? 24 square. Then y square minus 48 can be written as 2 into 24 into y. So is it not in the form of y minus 24 whole square? Y square plus 24 square minus 2 into 24 into y. So obviously y value will be, we have 2 roots, right? 24 comma 24. If y is 24 comma 24, 25 is greater than these 2 roots, this 25 is less than these 2 roots, so we cannot establish a concrete or we cannot establish a relationship between the roots. So choice 5 should be your answer. Question number 16, we'll take up the first equation. 2x square minus 9x plus 7 is equal to 0. How much is a into c value? 14. What is my b value? Minus 9. So a into c is positive, so write b as sum of 2 numbers. So how will you write sum of 2 numbers? B can be written as 7 and 2. Right? So what is 7 into 2? 14. Their product should be 14, but their sum should be equal to b. But b is how much? Minus 9. So this should be minus 7 minus 2. Minus 7 minus 2 is minus 9. Minus 7 into minus 2 is plus 14. So while writing the roots, we have discussed this. You have to change the sign. Minus 7 will become plus 7. Plus you have to divide with the coefficient of x square, right? So coefficient of x square is 2. Minus 2 will become plus 2 by 2. So it is 7 by 2 comma 1. Let us look at this. What is a into c? Minus 18. What is my b value? 7. So a into c is negative, means write b as difference of 2 numbers. So we can write b as 9 and minus 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 into minus 2 is minus 18. While writing the roots, you have to change the sign. Plus 9 will become minus 9 by 2. You have to divide with coefficient of y square. And minus 2 will become plus 2 by 2. So it is 1. Right? Now, what will happen? Just check it here. 7 by 2. 7 by 2 is obviously more than 1. It is greater than minus 9 by 2 and it is greater than 1. If I take 1, 1 is greater than negative value and it is equal. So obviously x is either greater or equal to y. Greater than or equal to y, it is nothing but your second option. Question number 17. 2x square minus 7x plus 6 is equal to 0. So obviously a into c is 12, b is minus 7. Right, so write b as sum of two numbers because a into c is positive. We'll write it as 4 and 3. 4 plus 3 I should get minus 7, so I take it as minus 4 minus 3 is minus 7, minus 4 into minus 3 is plus 12. So while writing the roots, you will change the sign. Minus 4 will become plus 4, divide with coefficient of x square, that is 2. Minus 3 will be plus 3 by 2. So it is 2 comma 3 by 2. What about this? What is a into c? 4 into 1 is 4. B is how much? Minus 5. A into c is positive. We have discussed this also in the previous classes also. We have to write b as sum of two numbers. I'll write it as 4 and 1. But I should get minus 5. So minus 4 minus 1. Minus 4 minus 1 is minus 5. Minus 4 into minus 1 is plus 4. So while writing the roots, minus 4 will become plus 4 divided by coefficient of y square, 4 comma 1 by 4. So obviously, so what will happen? 1 comma 1 by 4 are my roots. Now what are roots of x? 2 comma 3 by 2. What are roots of y? 1 comma 1 by 4. If I take 2, 2 is more than 1, 2 is more than 1 by 4. Similarly, 3 by 2 is 1.5. It is more than 1, it is more than 1 by 4. So both the roots of x are more than y. So x greater than y. X greater than y is present in first option. 18th question, x square is equal to 64. We can say x is equal to plus 8 or minus 8. Y cube is equal to 512. 512 is nothing but, students, we know it is 8 cube. So from this we can say y value is equal to 8. Right, so let us compare. X is 8, y is 8, so both are equal. X is minus 8, y is 8. Minus 8 is less than. So x is either less than or equal to y. X less than or equal to y, it is present in your choice 4. 19th question, students, x square minus 9x plus 20 is equal to 0. A into c is 20, b is minus 9. When a into c is positive, write b as sum of two numbers. Right, we can write it as 5 and 4, but we should get b as minus 9. So minus 5 minus 4. Minus 5 minus 4, sum is minus 9. Minus 5 into minus 4 is plus 20. Right, so roots. The roots, if you can take x is equal to, you have to change the sign. 5 divided by quotient of x square, nothing. So 4 by 1. So roots are 5 comma 4. Let us take up this. A into c is 24 and b is minus 12. Right, students? B is minus 12. Now, you can see here a into c is 24 positive. Write b as sum of, b is how much? Minus 14. One second. What is my p value? Minus 14. Right, so 12 and 2, but I should get minus 14, so minus 12 minus 2. Minus 12 minus 2 is minus 14, minus 12 into minus 2 is plus 24. So while writing the roots, we have to change the sign. 12 by 8, comma 2 by 8. 2 by 8 is how much? 1 by 4. And 12 by 8 is how much? 3 by 2. Right, so what are y roots? 3 by 2, comma 1 by 4. So obviously 5 is more than 1 by 4, 5 is more than 1.5. 4 is more than 1.5, 4 is more than. So clearly roots of x are more than root of y. X greater than y present in first option. Question number 20, students. We have two equations, linear equations given here. It's not a quadratic equation. x6x plus 5y is equal to 121. One equation, two unknowns. Second equation will take 8x minus 5y is equal to 33. One equation, two unknowns. When we combine, we have two equations, right? If you add them, 14x, 6x plus 8x is 14x is equal to 154. From this, I'll get x is equal to 11. If x is equal to 11, you substitute here. 11 into 6 is 66. So you'll get 5y is equal to 121 minus 66 is 55. Again, I'll get 5 goes 11 times y is equal to 11. X is 11, y is 11. X and y values are equal. Both are equal means we'll take up option 5. Right, students. Directions for question number 21 to 28. Select the correct alternative from the given choices. Okay. These are your individual quant questions. While discussing each question, I tell you whether these are easy or difficult. Okay, let us take up question number 21, student. This is based on a topic called probability. We can actually classify this question as easy question. It's an easy question based on simple concept of probability. A box contains 5 red balls, 4 blue balls, and 3 green balls. So what are my total balls? 5 plus 4, 9 plus 3, 12. Total balls are 5 red, 4 blue, 3 green, 12 balls we have. If two balls are picked up at randomly, what is the probability that both the balls are either red or blue? So picking up two balls, total probability is 12C2. They should be either red. Red, I have 5 balls, so both of them should be red, 5C2, or blue. So plus, they should be either blue, means it should be 4C2. So obviously 12C2 value is 66, 5C2 value is 10, 4C2 value is 6, 16 by 66, or I can say 8 upon 33 present in choice 4. It's an easy question, students. 22. This question is based on your partnership concept. Is based on your partnership concept. First, let us read the question. X, Y, and Z started a business with investments in the ratio of 2:5:4. At the end of the year, after reserving 12% of the profit, the remaining was shared among the three. Total profit is 1 lakh. Find Z shares in the profit. Okay. Now, we have studied 3 important points, right? So, if their capitals are different, we will divide the profit in the ratio of capital. Capital different, time period same, we will divide in the ratio of capital. Capital same, time period different, we will divide in the ratio of time periods. If both capital and time period are different, we will divide in the ratio of product of capital and time period. So here, time periods are same, their investment ratios are different. We know their investment ratios, right? So we have to divide. YZ share will be 4 by, add all this, 6 plus 4, 7 plus 4, 11 into total profit. What is my total profit? Total profit is 1 lakh, but I cannot take 1 lakh there, because if you read the question properly, he's saying that he's reserving 12% of the profit. So what is my remaining profit? My remaining profit will be, he is reserving, that means he is keeping aside 12% of the profit. Remaining is 88% of 1 lakh. 88% of 1 lakh is 88,000. So their share should be from 88,000. That's the only tricky point here. Rest of the things are same. 11 goes 8 times. 8,000 into 4, 32,000 rupees is the share of Z. It is present in choice 2. Alright, this question is a question, provided that you should be little careful. You should not write into 1 lakh, you should write 88,000, because they are reserving 12% of the profit. Maybe they want to reinvest in the business, they want to use it for some other purpose. They are sharing the remaining portion. What is remaining portion? 88% of the profit. So 88,000. What ratio they are sharing? Time period same. They are investing for 1 year, so they have to share in the ratio of capitals. That is their investment ratio. So Z will be 4 by 11 into 88,000. You will get 32,000 rupees. Right, question number 23. I am saying question number 23 is based on compound interest concept. If you know the concept, I am saying this is an easy question. If you know the concept, I can classify this as an easy question. But see, don't get into actual calculation, not required, I am saying. Now, man deposits 7,500 and compound interest compounded annually for 2 years. Okay. Compounded annually for 2 years, earned an interest of 1908. Find the rate of interest per annum. Now, for 2 years, what is my net rate of interest in compound interest? For 2 years, net rate of interest is given by x plus y plus xy by 100%. Now, let us not get into calculating 1908 by 75,000. How much? 7,500 into 100. What percentage is it? Applying in the formula. I am saying all it is not required. Just here. We have 8, 9, 10, 12, 15. The middle value is 10%. Let us take 10% and try what will happen. If we take 10%, what will happen? 10 plus 10, net rate of interest should be 21%. 10 plus 10 plus 10 into 10 by 100. So net rate of interest should be 21% for 2 years. 21% means almost my interest should be how much? 10% 750. This is my principal. 20% will be 1500. Around 1575. But my interest is 1900, so definitely it is not 10%. When it is not 10%, it cannot be 9, it cannot be 8, because we are for 2 years we are getting an interest of 1908 rupees. But 10% you are arriving somewhere around 1575. So 1900 means my rate of interest should be definitely more than 10. It cannot be less than 10. So straight away 3 options are eliminated. Now how many options are left out? 2 options. Now let us take up. This is an easy thing to do. 15%. 15% for 2 years. What will happen? 15 plus 15. Plus 15 into 15 upon 100. So it will be 32.25% net rate of interest. 30%. See, don't calculate 32.25. 30% itself will be how much? How much is my 10%? 10% 750. 30% will be 750 into 3. 2250. Right? For 15% 2 years, what is net rate of interest? 32.25. That means interest amount should be more than 2,200. But what's the interest amount we are getting? 1,900. So it cannot be 15% also. So what is the option that is left out? 12%. That should be your answer. Or if you are going through procedure, there is a best way to solve this question. That's why I'm saying it is easy if you go by options. 1908 by 7500 into 100, if you calculate, you'll get 25.44%. 25.44%, your per year interest should be 12%. Check out 12 plus 12 plus 12 into 12 upon by 100. 24 plus 1.44. 12 into 12 is 144. 144 by 100 is 1.44. So it is 25.44%. I'm saying this is not required. Through options, I can easily eliminate and I can answer the question. Question number 23. Right, question number 24. It is based on simple equations ages concept. I can say this is an easy question if you read the question properly. Now the point is, the question is about 3 lines. It looks little lengthy, but if you write down the given data on your piece of paper, I think this is an easy question. Not any no difficulty in solving this particular question. Okay, look at this question, students. 24th question. All right. 4 years ago, S age was 20 years. So 4 years ago, if it is 20 years, what is present age of S? Present age of S will be 24. R is 6 years younger than P. Okay. Age of S is twice the age of R. So if S is twice R should be half of S. 12. R is 6 years younger than P. So P should be 6 years older than R. P should be 18. Now 6 years later, ratio of age of P and Q is 4:5. Find the present age of Q. So after 6 years, P's age is 24, present is 18. After 6 years means 18 plus 6, 24. Q percentage we don't know, right? So we'll take it as Q. After 6 years means Q plus 6. This ratio is 4/5. 4 goes 6 times 30. Q plus 6 is 30. Q is equal to 24. 24 years is present age of Q, present in choice 5. So S age present age is 4 years ago 20, now it is 24. R's age, S is 2 times the age of R should be half of S, so 12. R is 6 years younger to P should be 6 years older than R, 18. Q we don't know. After 6 years we have relation between P and Q. After 6 years P will be 24, Q will be Q plus 6 is equal to ratio 4/5. You simplify, you get Q is equal to 24. Right students, question number 25. This is based on your time and distance concept, right? So this is based on your time, speed and distance. Again students, I am saying this is an easy question if you have followed the concept. There is nothing difficult in this individual question. I am saying AMT 3 is very easy compared to your AMT 1 and AMT 2, right? The first year, second mark, when you compare your quant section particularly, AMT 3 is very easy. Man covers certain distance by train in 37.5 hours. Speed of the train is 90 kilometers per hour. So what is distance formula? Speed into time. So speed is 90 into time is 75 by 2 hours. This is my distance. 37.5 is nothing but 75 by 2. 74 plus 1, 75 by 2 hours. Now if the bus speed, if the speed of the bus is 2/3 of the speed of the train, so speed of the bus should be 2/3 of speed of train. How much is speed of train? 90. So speed of bus is 60 kilometers per hour. Find the time taken to travel by the bus to cover the same distance. Time is equal to distance by speed. What is the distance? 90 into 75 by 2 by speed of the bus should be 60. 3 3s, 3 2s. So obviously 2, how much? 225 by 4. 225 by 4, 4 5 is 20, 4 56, 24. 56 1 by 4 hours. 56 1 by 4 hours is present in choice 4. Is present in choice 4. This is one way of solving this particular question. The other way of solving this question is we can also solve like this. Just here students. One second. Right. Now the speed of bus is 2/3 of the speed of train. Alright. So what is speed of bus is to speed of train? 2:3. What is time taken by bus is to time taken by train? 3:2, because they are traveling the same distance. Whatever distance train is covering, bus is covering the same distance. When distance covered is constant, we know that speed and time are inversely proportional. I told you one more point. Speeds are in the ratio A:B, then we can say time should be in the ratio B:A. Speeds are in the ratio 2:3. Time taken should be in the ratio of 3:2. Time taken by train is 2 parts, right? Time taken by train is 2 parts. So this 2 parts is 75 by 2. Find the time taken by bus. 3 parts is how much? 3 into 75 by 2 by 2. So obviously 225 by 4, I'll get 56 1 by 4 hours. There is nothing but your choice food. We can also solve like this using relation between speed and time. So time and distance question is an easy question, students. Okay, question number 26. This is based on your mensuration concept. This is based on your mensuration concept. Again, I am saying if you are thorough with mensuration concept, if you remember the formula, again this can be classified as easy question. There are two cylinders A and B. The ratio of radius of A to radius of B is 4:5. Radius of A is to radius of B is 4:5. And the ratio of height of cylinder A is to height of cylinder B is 5:8. What is the ratio of volume of A to that of volume of B? What is volume of cylinder formula? We all know that volume of cylinder is nothing but pi r square h. What is volume of cylinder? Pi r square h. When you are taking the ratio, this pi will be common. So the ratio is nothing but r square h. Now if I take first cylinder, volume of A is to volume of B. Anyways, pi will get cancelled. Don't involve in what you call, don't write pi again, cancel. Don't do all those things. This, it is all based on r square h. Radius of A, 4 square 16 into height is 5. Similarly, radius of B, 5 square 25 into height of B is 8. 8 goes 2 times, 5 goes 5 times. So the ratio comes to 2:5. It is present in fifth option. This question is based on concept of percentages. You can classify this as somewhere between easy to moderate because of calculations involved, right? It's not as difficult as moderate and it is not as easy as an easy question, slightly difficult than your easier question, right? Prem savings are 30%, so savings of this person are 30%. So obviously his expenditure should be 70% because expenditure is income minus savings. Income is always 100%. 100 minus 30, 70%. Out of this expenditure, he is spending 30% on food. Out of 70%, 30%. 10%, 7, 30% means 21% is spending on food. His remaining expenditure, 70 minus 21, 49%. This 49% value is given as remaining expenditure, 29,400. Find his annual savings. Savings is 30%. How much? 30 into 29,400 by 49. 49 goes exactly 6 times in 204. So 600 into 30, 6 into 3, 18, followed by 3 zeros, 18,000. That is his, see, this is about his monthly salary. What is the question? Annual savings. Annual savings will be for 12 months into 12. 12 into 18 is 216, followed by 3 zeros. So 2,16,000. 2,16,000 is present in third option. 18th question. This is based on a concept of profit and loss. I am saying this is easy question. Easy question. All individual questions are easy only, students. Anil wanted to purchase a watch marked at 12,000 rupees. Okay. Marked price of the watch is 12,000 rupees. Shopkeeper told him to choose one of the two schemes. The first scheme offered a discount of 20%. Okay. Scheme 1 offered a discount of 20%. Scheme 2 is offering two successive discounts of 15% and 10%. Two successive discounts of X% and Y% is equal to a single discount of X plus Y minus XY by 100%. So obviously 15 plus 10 or minus 15 into 10 by 100. 25 minus 1.5, so 23.5. If you take single discount, these two discounts are equal to a single discount of 23.5%. What's the question, students? Find the difference in selling prices of the watch in these two schemes. Difference in selling price is nothing but difference in their discount percentage. What is difference in their discount percentage? 3.5%. So it is 3.5 by 100 into market price 12,000. So 2 zeros will get cancelled. So obviously 35 into 12, if I multiply by 0, it will become 3.5 will become 12. What you call 35 into 12, 360 plus 60, 420 should be your answer. 420 is present in fifth option. Okay, this completes our individual question, students. Now directions for question number 29 to 33. Study the following table. Study the table given below carefully to answer the questions that follow. These are data interpretation questions. 29, 30. We have about 5 questions on data interpretation. Data represented in the form of a table, right? Let us take up this. First, let us look at the data. Table shows quantity of 4 types of vegetables sold in kgs in a market on 5 different days in a week from Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday, 4 different vegetables: tomatoes, potatoes, carrots, brinjals, sold in kgs on these different days. So tomatoes, if you take Monday 1200 kilo, Tuesday 1400 kilo, Wednesday 1600 kilo. Similarly, potatoes you take 1100 kg sold on Monday, 1300 kg sold on Tuesday, so on. But 2 important points here. Total number of tomatoes sold from Monday to Friday. What should I do? Total number of potatoes sold in kgs. You have to add this. Sorry, total number of tomatoes sold. You have to add this total column wise. All tomatoes sold from Monday to Friday will get. Let's say if you want to find out all total of all vegetables sold on a particular day. Let's say Monday, I want to find out what the total vegetables sold or total of tomatoes, potatoes, carrots, brinjals. Then you have to add row wise. So day wise total is row wise, and if you take vegetable wise total, that is column wise you have to add. Okay. Question number 29, students. Find the total quantity of all the vegetables sold on Wednesday. We have told you on Wednesday means you have to add row wise. So last anyways 2 digits are 0 0. Add this 16 plus 15 31 plus 13 44 plus 10 54 5400 kgs. 5400 kgs is present in choice 2. Question number 30, students. What is the average quantity of brinjals sold per day in the given days? So how will you get average? Sum of n numbers divided by n. So average quantity of brinjals means total brinjals divided by number of days. How many days we have? 5 days. So add these 2 zeros. 18 plus 12 30 plus 10 40 130 plus 70 200. So it is 20,000 divided by 5 days. 5 was 20. So 4000 kgs per day. 4000 kgs is present in choice 1. Question number 31, students. Ratio of total quantity of tomatoes sold on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Total quantity of brinjal sold on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tomato sold on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Add this 42. Anyways, ratio last 2 zeros will get cancelled. So I am ignoring this. 30 plus 12, 42 is to tomatoes is to. We need to find out brinjals on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. These 2 zeros will get cancelled. So brinjals will be 30 plus 10, 40. 2 21s 42, 2 20s 40. Ratio is 21 is to 20 present in 4th option. 32. If the cost per kg of tomatoes, potatoes, carrots and brinjals on Friday are 40 rupees, 30 rupees, 60 rupees, 45 rupees. Okay. Find the total cost of vegetables sold on Friday. This is, see, first 3 questions are very easy. This is slightly time consuming because we need to find a total cost. You have to multiply. How will you get total cost? Price per kilo multiplied by number of kilos. Friday, if you take tomatoes, 2000. So obviously 2000 into, otherwise you can do one thing, you can ignore 2 zeros and the end we'll put 2 zeros in the answer. We'll take 20 into price is 40. How much? 800. Then 16 into 30, it is 480. Then you take carrots, 12 into 60, 720. Then you take brinjals, 45, 18 kilos. How much? 720 plus 90, 810. So this is 110, 9, 16, 20, 28. So you have to put 2 zeros at the answer because you are taking out 2 zeros from the number of pages. 2,81,000 rupees. 2,81,000 rupees. It is present in choice 5. Question number 33. On Saturday. Is Saturday given in the table? No. He is giving you some additional information on Saturday. What is that additional information? If the quantity of tomatoes sold is 15% more than that sold on Friday. Tomatoes 15% more than Sunday. 2000 plus 15%. 10% is 200. 5% is 100. So 300 more. So 2300. What about carrots? Carrots are 25% more than that sold on Monday. Monday, how many carrots sold? 1000. 25% means 1/4 more. 1/4 means 250 more. So it is 1250. So find the difference between quantities of tomatoes and carrots sold on Saturday. In your exam, maybe it has given us Potatoes, just make a correction. So it is carrots, students, tomatoes and carrots. So if you subtract, we'll get 1050, the difference. 1050 is present in third option, students. Directions for question number 34 and 35. Study the data given carefully to answer the question that follows. So this is based on profit loss as well as your profit loss set only, common data questions, right? So profit loss set, shopkeeper has 25 boxes filled with balls completely. Each box contains equal number of balls. Okay, each box contains equal number of balls. Cost price of each ball is same. Shopkeeper gains 2000 if he sells each ball at 60 rupees. Incurs a loss of 2000 if he sells at 40 rupees. Okay, let us solve this question, student. Let us say number of balls we don't know. Let us take number of balls are X. So he's getting a profit of 2000 when he's selling it each ball for 60 rupees. Okay. Let us say cost price of all balls, cost price of all the balls together, or I can say cost price of X balls is equal to, one second, right, cost price of X balls is equal to, each ball cost price we don't know, all X balls is equal to, we'll take it as CP. What will happen? 60 rupees is the selling price. Profit is equal to SP minus CP and loss is equal to CP minus SP. So what is selling price of X balls? Each ball 60 means 60X minus cost price of X balls, we are taking it as CP, is equal to 2000. This is my first equation. Second case, he is getting a loss of 2000. Loss is CP minus SP when he is selling each ball for 40. Cost price of X balls is X minus each ball is selling at 40 rupees. So 40 into X balls. This is equal to loss of 2000. This is my second equation. These two are 2000, equate left hand side and right hand side. 60x minus CP is equal to right hand side, both are 2000. CP minus 40x. 100x is equal to 2CP, or I can say CP is equal to 50x. Is this clear? 2CP is equal to 60 plus 40, 100x. CP is equal to 50x. When you know CP is equal to 50x, substitute it in first equation or second equation. 60x minus 50x, I'll get 10x is equal to 2000, x is equal to 200. So how many balls we have? 200 balls. Let us take up the questions. Find the number of balls in each box. How many boxes we are having? 25 boxes, and each box contains equal balls. So 200 balls I am fitting into 25 boxes. Each box equal balls, so divided by 25. So it goes 8 times. So we have number of balls in each box should be 8. Then question number 35. Find the cost price of each ball. Now see here, students, I'll tell you one point here. Cost price, what is CP? Cost price of X balls. So cost price of X balls is equal to CP value is how much? 50x. So obviously XX will get cancelled. Cost price of each ball, don't get into calculation. Each ball is equal to, I can say, 50 rupees. So what is cost price of each ball? 50. That is present in your third option. Don't get into calculation. 50 into X is how much? 200. 50 into 200 divided by, this is cost price of 200 balls by 200, not required. Cost price of X balls is 50x. XX will get cancelled. 50x is number of balls only, right? So cost price of each ball should be 50 rupees. So 50 rupees is present in third option. Right, students, we will stop here. Hope you have understood this particular discussion. When you compare AMT3, I am saying AMT3 is very easy compared to your AMT1, AMT2, particularly your quant section is very easy compared to your first two AMTs. So I am saying there are a lot of easy questions. If you have missed out scoring in this paper also, that means you are lacking your basic fundamentals, or you are lacking your speed or accuracy. You need to work out on these things, students. Okay, we will stop here. Thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe, prepare with time classes. Thank you, students.